Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I will be giving you an analogy between BFS and DFS. Okay, so by BFS, like what do we mean by BFS? So whenever I write BFS, I'm talking about breadth first search. Breadth first search. Okay, and then when I'm talking about DFS, I'm talking about depth first search. First and search. Okay, so you just need to remember these like the front part of both of these abbreviation, that is breadth and depth. Okay, and I'll try to explain you the difference between breadth first search and depth first search by an example of a war zone. Okay, so war zone means soldiers are there. Okay, and there are certain areas to be conquered by the soldiers. Okay, so we will take that particular example and try to understand the difference between breadth first search and depth first search. So whenever you come across these two terms, that is breadth first search and depth first search, that analogy of that soldier conquering the different lands should come into your mind, and you should be able to think clearly through the solution. Okay, so I'll probably erase this one first. Okay, so consider that we have like two soldiers, that is we have soldier 1 and soldier 2. Okay, and soldier 1 name is DFS and the soldier 2 name is BFS. Okay, so both of these soldiers are very brave. So the team never distinguishes between DFS or BFS as to who is better. Okay, so both of these serve different purposes and they both are master in their own thing. Now, both of them, they are very deadly soldiers, and they, like, whatever land they go to, they conquer that land easily. Okay, so now what happens is the approach. What is the difference between the approaches that are taken by the two soldiers? Like, both of these soldiers are skilled, both of them are very they conquer the lands easily. So what is the difference in approach that they take to conquer the land? Okay, so say for example we have a land called 1 here. Okay, and we have certain other lands that are connected to 1, so you can just consider it to be cities. Okay, so now if I'm in Bangalore city, then there might be some other cities that are neighboring to Bangalore that can be conquered if I conquer Bangalore. Okay, so there might be other cities, like, so suppose this is city 1, then there are neighboring cities, that is cities 2 and city 3, city 4. Okay, then you have city 5, 6, then you have city 7 that is not connected to city 1 directly, but then if you go via 2 or maybe if you go via 3, and then you can like basically reach the city 7. So it is not directly connected, but it is indirectly connected to the city 1. And if our soldiers, basically our troops, are present all in city 1. Okay, so our BFS and DFS soldiers, they are present in city 1. Now, in order to decide as to which city do I conquer the next, these both soldiers have two different approaches. Okay, and we'll discuss each of them one by one. Now, when we talk about the DFS approach, that is, if the army head, he asks DFS, okay, if I give you the option, which cities would you choose and in what order would you choose to conquer them? So DFS says, I go to, okay, let me create some more cities so that it's more clear for an example. So I have city 7, and then you have city maybe city 8, and then city 9, and then maybe city 10. Okay, and let us also establish the edges between the cities so that it's more clear. So we have an edge between 1 and 3. So edge, basically you can just consider that it is possible to go from city 1 to city 3 via road route or a railway route or by some other means, or a boat route or something. Basically it simply says that you can move from city 1 to city 3. Okay, and conquer city, like the city 3 can be conquered from city 1. Okay, same cannot be said for city 9. You cannot conquer city 9 from city 1 directly. You might have to go via, maybe you have to go to 1 to 4, and then you have to go from 4 to 9. Okay, so this route might be possible. So you have to conquer city 4 first, and then you have to conquer the city 9. Okay, so let us establish some random edges. So you have between 1 and 2, you have another edge. Between 1 and 5, you have another edge. Then between 1 and 6, you have another edge. Then let's have an edge between 4 and 10. Okay, then we have an edge between 1 and 7. And then let's have an edge between 10 and 8. Okay, let's have an edge between 10 and 8. And it might also be possible that a given city can be reached by some other city as well. So let's consider that 8 can be reached by 7 as well. Okay, or what we can do is let's say that 8 can be reached by 5 also. All right, so now what we do is, if DFS is given the chance to decide the order of conquering, what he'll do is he'll go to some random city that is directly connected. Okay, so maybe DFS can choose among the cities 2, 3, 4, 6 and 5. Okay, so he can choose among 2, 3, 4, 6 and 5. So these are the cities that are directly connected. 2, 3, 4, 6 and 5 are directly connected to 1. So he decides, okay, let's go to city number 3. Okay, so DFS is now over here. Okay, DFS is now over here. So let's say he conquered the city number 3. Now, instead of coming back to city 1, see, just make a note of this particular point. Okay, so this is the main difference that you need to remember. So what DFS does is, instead of coming back to city 1, what he does is, he sees that, okay, I have conquered city number 3 and I see that there is a city number 7 also in front. DFS says that I see a city number 7 that is not conquered by us. Okay, so this is not, so let me represent the list of conquered cities by a yellow mark. Okay, so this city is conquered. Okay, so this city doesn't have a yellow mark, so it is not conquered. So DFS thinks that, okay, so since this city is not conquered, let me go to that city and let me conquer that as well. So DFS has reached here. So now DFS has reached here. Now, when he's in 7, he sees that there are no more cities that are connected to 7 that are not conquered. Let me go back to where I started from. Okay, so DFS goes back to city number 3. Okay, and then he goes back from city number 3. He sees that there are no more cities that are needed to be conquered. He goes back to 1. Now, when he comes back to 1, he sees that, okay, so this part I have already conquered. Now there are some certain other cities also that are connected to this particular one, which needs to be conquered. So similar approach he follows. He goes to city number 2. He conquers the city number 2. And now he sees that there are no more cities to be conquered. And he comes back. Okay, so this also is visited. So you can just consider that he's putting the check mark on all the cities that have been visited by him and conquered by him. Okay, so all the check mark, so there is a check marker 1, 3, 7 and 2. Now he comes back again to 1 and sees that there is 5 that needs to be conquered. He goes to 5. Okay, he wins the war there. He conquers the city 5. Then he sees that there is another city 8 that is connected to 5 that is not conquered. He goes fearlessly. So DFS, you can just consider DFS to be a fearless warrior who conquers anything that comes on the way. Okay, so he sees that 8 is not conquered. He goes to 8 and conquers that as well. From 8 he sees that there is another city 10. Okay, that is not conquered. He goes back. He goes to city number 10, conquers that as well. Okay, from 10 he sees that, okay, there's another city 4 that is not conquered. Okay, I'll go there and conquer that as well. From city number 4, he sees that on the left there's city number 1 that I already conquered, so I don't have to go there. Now from city number 4 there's another city that is connected, that is city number 9. Oh, I did not conquer this one, so let me conquer this as well. Now when he conquers city number 9, he sees that there are no more cities that need to be conquered here, and now it's time to return. So he comes back over here, sees, okay, are all the cities conquered by me? Okay, it's all conquered. So he goes back to 10, he goes back to 8, goes back to 5, goes back to 1. Now when he comes back to 1, he sees that there's one last city that is pending. Goes there, conquers that, and now he comes back to city number 1 from where it started. So now you can see that the approach that DFS was taking was he goes to city, fearlessly conquers whatever comes in the way as far as he can see. And if there are no more cities to be conquered, he comes back and sees to the previous node whether there are any connected cities or any connected components that needs to be conquered. So the approach taken by DFS is like that. Okay, so let me erase all this, and for the same problem, like how would BFS approach this problem? Okay, okay, I think I erased too much. Let me put the edges. Cool. So now what we are doing is we are going the BFS route. So DFS was given the chance. Let's give a chance to BFS. Like how does he approach this particular problem? Okay, so let me complete the diagram. Okay, and here we have the edges. Okay, and this time we have BFS that is given the chance to decide which cities he wants to go first and then second, like that. Okay, so now BFS, when it's given the chance, so BFS is kind of a safe warrior. He plays it safe. He is not like a warrior who takes blind action. He's not like a warrior who takes blind action and goes randomly to cities without having any backup behind the scenes. Okay, so what he does is, in whichever city he is in, he tries to capture all the next cities around him. Okay, so now since BFS is in 1, what he'll do is he'll capture the city 1. Okay, so let's mark it as visited by putting a yellow tick mark. Now he sees that which are the areas that he can conquer from city 1. Okay, so which are the areas that he can conquer from city 1? So he sees that, okay, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, 6 and 5. Now if he decides to conquer 3, he goes to 3, okay, conquers that, and instead of going to 7, which the DFS did, he comes back. Okay, because he knows that there are certain other areas also which are 1 distant apart that needs to be conquered before I can move to 2 distant apart cities. Okay, so what he does, he comes back here, he sees that, okay, 2 is 1 distance apart from my main city which I'm currently in. I'll go there, conquer 2, go there, conquer 2, come back, and again we have 1 city apart, that is 5. Come here, come to 5, conquer 5. Okay, even though there is 8 in front of him, he's not greedy about conquering 8, rather he plays it safe. So after conquering 5, he comes back here, and then he sees that, okay, 6 needs to be conquered. Now he conquers 6, comes back, goes to 4, conquers 4 and comes back. So now what he has is, he has this particular, all the cities that are 1 distance apart. So these are all 1 distance apart. He has conquered all of these. Okay, so let's say that he has conquered all this. So let's mark it all as black. Okay, he has conquered all this. Now he sees that, okay, now our kingdom is kind of safe. We can go ahead. So he's basically expanding his area in a radial basis, in a radial basis. That is, he is expanding the radius. If you just consider this to be a circle, his kingdom to be a circle, he's expanding radially. So something like this, he's going this particular route. Whereas DFS, what route he was taking? So he was taking this kind of route. Okay, if he finds more cities, he'll go there, and then it's like he's a kind of brave warrior who simply goes into whatever he sees, lashes into whatever he sees. And for BFS, he's like a warrior. Even though he sees that there are cities to be conquered, he doesn't go there until he has conquered all the cities that are present in the radius. That is, he tries to conquer all the cities that are 1 distance apart, then he tries for all cities that are 2 distance apart, then 3 distance, like that he goes on. Okay, so now we have all the 1 distance apart cities covered. Now he'll target for all the 2 distance apart cities. So he'll see that, okay, from here we have 7. Okay, 7, that is 2 distance apart. So here you have 1, and then this is the second edge from here to here. Okay, so he'll conquer 7. So this is conquered. Okay, so what happens is, he goes to city 7, conquers that city 7, comes back. Then we have city number 8. City number 8 that needs to be conquered. He goes there, conquers the city number 8. Even though city number 10 is at a 3 distance apart, he does not go from 8 to 10. Rather, he comes back to 1. And now from 1, he sees which are the 2 distant apart cities. So here we have 9 also. That is like, this is 1. Okay, I think the diagram is getting kind of complicated. So from here it is 1, then you have 2. So these are 2. So 9 is 2 distance apart. So he'll mark this as visited. Okay, so this is also visited. This is visited. This is also visited. Okay, so he'll mark 9 as visited. So this is also done. Comes back to 1. So now he sees that are there any 2 distant apart cities. Okay, so he comes back. Okay, so here, okay, since 4 is connected to 10 also, so this is also a 2 distant apart city. So he has 1 and then he has 2. Okay, so this also 2 distant apart city, this 10 also gets covered in. Okay, so you got the idea, right? Like how is he trying to approach the different cities, how these both people, these BFS and DFS, are trying to approach the 2 cities. So where DFS is a fearless warrior, he conquers whatever he sees on the way. Okay, so this is about DFS. Whereas if we talk about BFS, so BFS, he plays safe. Okay, he plays safe, conquers radially. Radially would not be the proper word, but then what he does is he conquers in a breadth type of manner. That is, okay, so he has one area, then he'll conquer all the nearby area that are present in 1 distance apart. Okay, then he conquers all the area that are 2 distance apart. Okay, so he's kind of expanding his area radially. So that is about BFS. So you just understand these 2 differences so that it's more clear to you when we are doing the actual implementation. Okay, so there are certain other points as well that you need to understand. That is the technical part of the BFS and DFS. So this is just a, what do you say, how do you explain BFS and DFS to a layman person by using a real life example. Okay, so you can just take an example of this particular war zone wherein you have different two soldiers, DFS and BFS, and how they conquer the cities. If you just try to explain it to the interviewer, I think that is more than convincing. So you can also create your own examples which you feel might be nice. You can just take an example of maybe maybe you are going for a trip or something. Okay, so you start with your trip in Bangalore and you decide to cover all the nearby areas. Okay, so all the nearby areas to Bangalore, you are just trying to cover one by one. So this you are doing it in a breadth first search manner. Okay. So this is an example of a BFS, that is you are trying to cover all the nearby cities in a breadth first search manner. That is, near to Bangalore, you go to city 1, then you come back to Bangalore, and then you decide to cover another city, that is city 2. And then you come, so all the cities that are 1 distance apart, you have already covered. Now you decide, okay, I have finished all the cities that are near to Bangalore. Let me go a little bit further. So maybe you might have been passing you might have to go via one of these cities to reach another city, that is city 2. So you will say that these the city maybe XYZ. So this city XYZ is at 2 distance apart because I have to go via one of these cities to reach the city 2. And then you try to cover all the cities at a distance of 2. Okay, so you try to cover all the cities at a distance of 2. So this is an example of BFS, you can say. And what else can I give you an example of DFS? Okay, so when you're searching for maybe you have some bug, okay, in your application, and you try to debug using Stack Overflow or something. Okay, so what you do is let me open. Okay, so suppose this is the Google search page, and you have entered your term here, and you get certain search results along with links. So you decide to open this particular link, the very topmost link you try to open, and maybe it's from Geeks for Geeks, or it might be from Stack Overflow. Okay, so this will open. So let's consider this is from Stack Overflow. Okay, so this link is from Stack Overflow, and your Stack Overflow page, it opens up. Okay, Stack Overflow page, it opens up. Now you see that in this Stack Overflow, someone has like given a link to another page. Maybe this link is from the official documentation of Python. Okay, Python link, some related problem maybe he has posted, and he's given you another link of this. So you decide to open this particular link as well. So when you open this link, it opens another web page like this. Okay, and here you find certain other things, and then there is another link that is present somewhere at the bottom. You feel that you have to click that so that you get to learn more about it. So you are basically learning this entire entire concept, maybe you can say. You are learning this entire thing using a depth first search manner. You open a link, you go more and more deep into the concept, more and more deep into the hyperlinks, the href, like whatever links are present in the web pages, you keep on clicking them, and you're going in depth over here. Now when you find that, okay, enough searching, enough Googling, okay, so from here I have to return back. So you directly put a close mark on the tab, or else what you can do is you can just click on the back button. So when you're on this particular page, it comes back to the Stack Overflow page, and when you press the back button, it comes to the search page. Now you feel that you want to go and click the second wala link. You open the second wala link, it will open, maybe it's a page from Geeks for Geeks. Okay, let me use green marker because Geeks for Geeks is for that. Okay, GFG. The second link is for GFG, and there are certain other links. You open from GFG and you go in more in depth, more links, go more in depth. So this you are approaching in a depth first search manner. So here, if we just represent this entire situation in terms of a graph, how would it look like? So it would look something like this. So let me erase this and get the pen. Right. So here it will be the Google search page. Google search results, I would say. You have the Google search results. Now from this Google search results, you are moving to Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow. Okay. From the Stack Overflow, you are going to some other links, maybe some Python docs that we discussed. Python docs. Okay. And from here, you decide that, okay, enough searching, let me come back. So you come back from here, you come back to here, and then you go to the GFG link, Geeks for Geeks link. And then you decide that, okay, there is some other link that I need to refer. Maybe GFG has most of the internal links only, I think. Let's say hypothetical situation, or if some links is present from some official docs. Let's say we are learning Java and we have links from Oracle, or if you are learning STL, we have links from C++, C++.com. Okay, so we have opened this one, and from C++.com there's another link which is specifically meant for the STL containers. We open that link. Okay, now we see that we got our results, like whatever we were looking for, we got it over here. Okay, so whatever we were looking for, we got it over here. And so we come back to our CPP file, then we come back to GFG, we come back to over here. So this is like a depth first search manner. Okay, so this is an example of depth first search. Cool. So yeah, you can frame up your own examples, real life examples. You don't have to memorize like whatever examples are present in Geeks for Geeks, or whatever examples are present in the different websites that you are referring for this material. Just observe around, like what examples would perfectly fit into DFS, BFS, and maybe any key, like take it for example, any data structure that you see.